The meaning of the movie author Orpheus for reading 6 minutes published on 29.02. 2020 updated on 14.11. 2022, Fight Club, is a movie made in 1999 by David Fincher. The plot is based on the novel of the same name by writer Chuck Palanick. To understand the meaning of the movie, Fight Club, it is best to start considering its plot, because neither Fincher nor Palanick are not inclined to metaphorical veiling. All the semantic load of the work can be perfectly considered in the storyline and heard from the mouths of the main characters. There are simply no unspoken thoughts in the movie. Introductory information. Just released, the movie did not gain popularity among the general public. It was too frank, too overthrowing everything that is dear to the average successful person. The film gained popularity only 10 years later, when the New York Times published a laudatory review of the film, recognizing it as a defining work of cinematography of the early XXI century. Starring recognized, talented actors, Brad Pitt, Helena Bonham Carter, Edward Norton, in the lead roles, gaining popularity at an astonishing rate in the noughties. Now the movie is one of the top 10 movies according to many ratings. The plot of the movie. The movie begins with the insomnia of the main character, who is also the narrator. The narration in the movie is in the first person. And his insomnia is not a one-time phenomenon, but a serious disorder that haunts him. The narrator sleeps so little that he does not realize where reality is and where a dream is. He goes to a doctor, and the doctor, seeing a successful manager in his 30s with obviously comfortable living conditions, refuses to prescribe him potent drugs. The doctor sends the hero to do sports or go to a support club for men with testicular cancer. Allegedly there he will be convinced that he has no problems, and the real problems are with sick people. After going to one meeting, crying and getting support from people who think he is seriously ill, the narrator falls asleep peacefully for the first time. He starts going to meetings of all seriously ill people, whether they have cancer or other ailments. But soon he notices that at all the meetings he meets one girl, Marla Singer. She is also, like the protagonist, a simpering, touring girl. Faced with yet another cheater who he thought had exposed him, the narrator can no longer get satisfaction from the meetings, and the insomnia returns. He makes an arrangement with Marla to split the sick people's meetings equally and never run into each other again. Subconsciously he begins to take an interest in this unusual girl, but still primarily sees her as a competitor. Having gone on a business trip for his firm, the narrator meets Tyler Durden, a soap salesman on the airplane, who looks and behaves like the complete opposite of the protagonist. There is a clear sympathy between the heroes. Tyler gives the narrator his business card and they part. Upon returning, the protagonist finds that his apartment has been damaged in a gas explosion, all his possessions destroyed. He realizes that he has no one to call, dials Marla's number first, but after changing his mind, he calls Tyler. They meet in a beer hall, talk, and afterward Tyler asks him to hit him. The heroes fight, but not in conflict, but for fun. A crowd of men stares at them in amazement. Tyler offers the narrator to stay with him. Young people organize a fight club, a fast-growing organization where people gather just to blow off steam and fight. Under Tyler's leadership, the club turns into Project Mayhem, aimed at destroying all the benefits of modern civilization. The narrator is terrified by this, and tries to cancel the impending bombing of an entire neighborhood of skyscrapers, but he can't. He discovers that Tyler is his second self. He suffers from a split personality. Overcoming his overly aggressive side by shooting it, the narrator, along with Marla, with her he turns out to have had an affair. On Tyler's behalf, watches the skyscrapers being blown up and collapsing. The hidden meaning of the movie, Fight Club. The point of the movie, Fight Club, is that people have become consumers. Tyler was pissed off by such a system, when fashion dictates the model of male behavior, when people value things more than themselves. For this reason, he blows up his apartment and everything valuable inside that he valued a lot, quits a good job because it makes him a slave to the system. Once outside the system, the protagonist sees that there are masses of similar citizens around, tired of being part of the Titanic system. The peak of the story is the hero's desire to create chaos to get rid of the system, to come to a primitive society without technology and authority. There is also another version of the meaning of the movie, Fight Club. It can be viewed in 3 layers. The formation of personality according to Freud. Becoming a Freudian personality in the movie is quite easy to consider. Marla and Tyler's relationship makes the narrator uncomfortable. He feels an infantile sense of jealousy, but the jealousy of a child. He subconsciously feels Tyler and Marla's relationship as that of his mother and father. Since Tyler is an outgrowth of the narrator's consciousness, in essence, the inner child is feeling jealousy because the fiercely masculine part takes his place next to Marla. Tyler's feelings here are those of a child jealous of his mother, of his father. An absolutely Freudian understanding of the processes of the human soul. By killing the aggressive masculinity in himself with one shot to his own mouth, the protagonist becomes whole, and his relationship with Marla is finally healthy. A critique of consumer society. The plan to criticize the consumer society is the first thing that catches the eye, because the characters are constantly talking about it. The very tagline of the movie is a Buddhist tenet. Only by losing everything to the end do we gain freedom. Endless attempts to advance one's career, surround oneself with things and try to find happiness in them is a disease of society. Tyler fights this disease in the most primitive way: violence, destruction of material goods, their substitution, or soap made from human fat sold to the people from whom the fat is taken. The end of the movie with the falling skyscrapers is the only metaphor in the movie, a metaphor for the collapse of the economy. The economy, which has come to dominate all spheres, penetrating even spirituality, is represented as a cancerous tumor. This is the end of our analysis of the meaning of the movie, Fight Club. If you have other theories and problems that we have not seen, we will gladly read them in the comments. Peaceful sky above your head, and see you soon on the pages of new articles.